So I was really torn on exactly where to start with this whole messed up story, but I figured we'd start, I guess, as close to the start as we can get. My mother passed away when I was 15, melanoma. It was about 9 months after she discovered it, or at least 9 months after she came out about the lumps, that she was gone. So I got a lesson in death very early on. I found a girl named Magdalene, named after Mary Magdalene in the Bible, the whore that followed Jesus around. And let's just say, I wasn't that great to her, she wasn't that great to me. And I mean, ultimately you'll get the details of it all if you listen closely enough. I am a lot of things, but I want you to know me as Veed. V-E-I-D. I'll explain more and more as this film goes on. You can just call me V. V for vendetta, or V for peace. However you would like to take it. I can go either way. Shout out to everyone who has helped me through any of this process. I really appreciate you. And to anyone who has doubted me, go fuck yourself. I'm dope now. I do dope shit. So, without any further ado, this is FairField.
FairField will always be a part of me.
The way things started out, I was your chauffeur. Between the lines we sat shoulder to shoulder.
I remember writing my first song. I think I was about 6, 7. It was before my parents split up. And I remember I got up and sang it for my mom and my sister. I learned all the words, I had my own rhythm and everything. And they clapped. And then they just continued on.
Tell me this isn't a ticking time bomb. I never wanted something so bad for so long. I don't know what I would do if you were gone. I guess I just try my best to move on. Tell me this isn't a ticking time bomb. I got a fear in my heart that this won't last long. Not that I'm thinking that you're thinking of being gone. It's just the past that makes me think you'll lead me on.
I got skating lessons, I went to soccer, I did all these things, but never once did I get a music lesson. I had recorder class in the 4th grade, if that counts. I had a bit of a guitar class in the 8th grade, where I was being called a retarded faggot all day long. And it's kind of interesting, and ironic, I guess, even, that's really kind of what I am. Like, if there's a slur for me, that's it. I remember there's a point when two individuals, Christian and Elijah, they were hockey kids. And I had never adhered to traditional masculinity. And I think that really scared them. I had a way with girls. I could talk to them, I could be friends with them. And that scared them because I was everything they thought women hated. And yet women loved me. And really, once I was able to escape the clutches of her, I can see once again that really is truly who I am. And sure, maybe I am that slur. But at the end of the day, that slur is dope. Like, not the slur itself, but being that. Like, having all those superpowers, being able to relate to so many people on so many different levels. I never would have thought in a million years that I would be able to turn all of my defects around into some kind of superpower. But I really can, and I don't think it's some kind of amazing feat. I don't think it's something I did because I'm unique or amazing or chosen. It's just, I smoked a lot of good herb.
Mr. Feet on the come up, he next up, and that's undebatable. Don't even debate it.
only ate stuff, smoked stuff that came from the earth, avoided anything that was manufactured in a facility with a bunch of preservatives and additives. Sure, when I need something to eat, I'll get some bread and some jam, like some Smucker's jam and some Dempster's bread. Sure, it's better than going hungry, but if I have a choice, I'd rather go to my favorite local bakery / cafe, Paris Baguette, and get myself some strawberry fruit spread. And what is this stuff called? A multi-grain bread. Maybe it costs $15, $20 for the bread and jam, but that's realistically how much it would cost for a meal. And that's at least like 2-3 meals worth of food for me. And it's all fresh, it's local, it's dope. And kind of once I started living that kind of life, once I stopped trying to escape Edmonton, and I started to live in Edmonton, I realized how dope life could be. I met so many dope people just over the past 2 weeks.
Let's get it. Like spinach, like bread.
Man, someone that was so beautiful. And I've met people that are still reacting to their traumas, and they may look ugly on the outside to some people. And this may be hard to believe, this may sound like some esoteric hippie bullshit, but I really can truly see the good in everybody.
Abolishment, astonishing. Trying to get the cash in, but the back end don't make sense at the gate.
I understand some people are still dangerous. I only give what I can and what they need. And I always get what I want. And then some. Sometimes more than I could have ever imagined. Just bumps into me on the Ave. But really, where I'd like to take this back to is the start of my drumming career. I got Guitar Hero. I'm really good at it.
Lash out, got no money, so we lash out. Think you're funny. Man down, who's a man now?
I was singing Green Day rock band, and my mom came down and told me I needed to do something other than singing. So I got religiously into drumming and rock band. And I had to convince my parents to let me buy a drum kit with my own money, because they had bought my sister a guitar and she didn't stick with it. I bought a drum kit for myself, and I stuck with it. I was in a band called Merleau. You'll hear more about that, but those are some of the best times of my life. I begged Miss Coulter, very, very thick, beautiful lady with no soul, just an empty shell of a human. I begged her to let me into the concert and jazz band, even though I had no classical music training. I couldn't read sheet music. Within the span of 2.5 years, she said we were doing pieces more complicated than she had ever done. Because of me. Because of how great of a drummer I had become. And still, she couldn't respect me. So I was supposed to finish up. I was going to do an extra year. I went to that school, moved to that school in grade 11 after my mom passed away. And I had only done 2 years of band by the time I quote-unquote graduated. So I went back for a 4th year to finish band. And I did not get the respect I deserved. And maybe I was selfish in certain moments. But I'm really glad that I didn't go down that road. My dad was also supposed to buy me a MacBook. And I was supposed to start this journey. I just started like 3 weeks ago. I was supposed to start that 11 years ago. And I'm sure I would have made dope music. I'm sure I could have accomplished a lot, but I wouldn't have had the experience to play the blues. Ultimately, I forgive both of you. Megan, and Dad.
Are we ready to do this shit?
And not because I'm holier than thou, or because I'm some kind of self-actualized human, but really you both taught me a very important lesson. And that lesson is to look out for warning signs of abusive and toxic people, to remove myself from those negative influences before they destroy the human that I am. Both of you gave me an absolutely amazing lesson.
It's alright to say you haven't seen the picture till your eyes are closed. It's alright to say you haven't seen the picture till your eyes are closed. Oh, it's alright to say you haven't seen the picture till your eyes are closed. Oh, it's alright to say you haven't seen the picture till your eyes are closed.
Thank you for not showing up to that hotel, Dad. And thank you for not bringing me a blanket, Meg. I think really what got me back then, and it still does to a degree, is Romeo syndrome, where I was in love with the idea of love.
Fuck with him, you don't know what is best for you. Get up in your head and he exchange your proof.
I was absolutely obsessed with a movie called Mr. Nobody. I got locked into this idea that I had to find my special one. And when I found a person that I was comfortable with, that I could have a nice time with and was compatible with, I thought that was true love. But it turns out comfort and affection is not admiration.
I could kill. Bitch, I could kill. Bitch, I could kill. Bitch, I could kill. Making a list.
I was always looking for a muse, and I thought that was her. But I know now it really wasn't, because listening back to all this music for this film, I can see what dark headspace this person got me into. And all I can say is never again, never ever again. I hopped from relationship to relationship. I've slept with maybe 3 people that I haven't actually been in a relationship with. And one of those people, I'm just a lot more conscientious now. I'm okay being alone. I'm okay sleeping in a bed alone. I'm okay eating my meals alone. I can get to where I need to go. I don't need no help from nobody.
Find it, going to the back where I've been hiding. Lay it on the wax, then get it on the track. No need for the quantize, perfect time. Max on the font size, see what your soft eyes gon' ride in like a ninja or a bonsai. Won't hear a thing till I get the shit hard tied. Not wearing blink, but my watch turning clockwise.
I am a fully independent human. And I'm dope. I'm dope as fuck. I do dope shit. And people call that insanity. They call it bipolar. I just call it being a fucking baller, bro. Stop caring what y'all fucking think a long time ago. I don't take no advice from people that aren't where I want to be in life.
You have Instagram? Yeah, me. Yeah, you can follow the bike on Instagram. You should follow me. Yeah, I'll follow you back. Yeah. You'll follow me and then I'll follow you back for sure. Yo, you mind if we Are these your girls? Yeah. Good choice, bro.
So I met this kid Ethan through a mutual friend of ours, Kimberly, and we got together and jammed with a gentleman named Curtis. We started a band called Death in Venice. It was just the hardest, trashiest metal you could think of. I think we only played together maybe 2, 3 times, 4 times, not in a show, but just hanging out, jamming. And I remember the first time we jammed, we actually had the cops banging on the door because we had scared the kids down at the local playground. That went on. Curtis left and did his own thing. I can't remember exactly what happened there. We messed around in a band called Merleau for a while. We had a bassist named Alex. We had a chick from another band come in and was kind of a singer for a little while. Eventually, until we stumbled upon the final formation, me on the drums, Ethan on rhythm, guitar, and lead vocals, Wilden Van Gundy on lead guitar, and Bobby on bass. And I really think we truly had something. And really what it came down to, I moved into this house on 127th and 127th. It was a duplex. I moved in there with who I thought was a longtime friend, Michael Essex, and it was dope at first, you know, it was just crazy. Things happening all the time. A spontaneous party broke out at one point. Some chick got clotheslined by some cops. That was crazy. But one gentleman we ran into, Evan Brown, was in some kind of band I can't even remember. But this kid was living out of his van, and he was just so humble and at peace, and in some ways I admired him. So I wanted to help him out and give him a leg up. Might not have necessarily needed that leg up, I don't really know. But what ended up happening is him and his friend Kirby took advantage of my good nature. And they were constantly taking things from me. And when I would confront them, they would gaslight me about that. I planted a trap. I counted exactly the amount of cigarettes I had in a pack, left it out on the coffee table, and left the house. And lo and behold, there were cigarettes missing. So I confronted Evan and Kirby, and they wouldn't admit to it. And it turned into a screaming match. At this point, Evan had actually joined Merleau as what was supposed to be a pianist, but he eventually turned into a second drummer. We did do a show at the Armory, which in my opinion was horrible because Evan didn't put in any effort to actually learn the songs, and he just wanted to beat the Skins as hard as he could. And at this point, with the cigarettes, I told the band it was either him or me. And they chose him. And that really, really hurt. And what hurt even more, when I reconnected with Ethan down the road, he told me that Evan admitted he did in fact steal those cigarettes.
A wise man once said, "You take 100% of the shots, you don't miss."
After Merleau broke up, I didn't think I was ever going to be able to make music again, because I couldn't wrap my head around music theory. I couldn't play the piano, I couldn't play the guitar. I could noodle on them, but I couldn't play them enough to write full songs. So I just became content working at my job at the cellular toy shop, having a life with her. My dad took off to BC, left me in charge of his mortgage, and I was the man of the house.
I'm hungry like a starving child. You say that I'm insane, but I say it's mild. I know it's gonna take a while, but I'm running in circles like it's going out of style. Pressure to be something that's destined for me got me broke at the seams, suggesting to me that I'm stacking resentment, avoiding the gap in my dreams.
Took care of that house for a long time, until it all just became a little too much. I always had this concept that I was going to be something big, and I spent a long time fighting that inhibition, that idea. I became an alcoholic. I was drinking 15, 20, 25 beers a night, passing out maybe at 10 p.m.
The broken soul that I'm admiring, been cracked by my sins, but it's inspiring, and all the type of way
I really got myself in a rut.
I've been stuck in the abyss, no one hiding it. I'm walking through the fog and I wave the torch that I'm fighting with. I'm riding in anything that'll get me there. I love the Civic or Bentley, I never really cared.
And I guess after spinning in circles for so long, I took stock and I realized what a great opportunity I had in front of me. So I really wanted to make the best of it and do everything I could. I wanted to start up a company that was actually Ethan's idea, but I wanted to act upon it. A place where anyone could walk in and make any kind of art. We wouldn't charge you. Song, a painting, a movie, whatever. We'd have all the equipment, then we'd release it, take a little bit of the profit so we can keep the business afloat, but then otherwise, money's all yours. And I had people in my orbit. I was reconnecting with old friends. I was doing a lot that I thought was the right thing. I had taken some MDMA, and it had given me that ego death. It helped me not only quit nicotine cold turkey, helped me quit drinking cold turkey, but it also helped me focus in really on what I want my life's mission to be. And that was making music or making art in some kind of way and helping other people to make their art. And immediately before me was her, Meg. I thought I could lift her up with me, so I fought as hard as I could. I tried to get her to do so much, but every step of the way, she just fought back. She was angry that I was trying to help her. I got so emotional and irrational because my help wasn't being accepted, and that was maybe not the appropriate response. But if I had a partner that was ready to take off with me, he would have known my name 8 years ago. But alas, that's not how it happened. I kind of want to go back to Merleau for a moment. What was so amazing about Merleau is Bobby, the bassist, was the only one with any kind of traditional musical training, and yet we came up with some of the best music I have ever heard. It is absolutely a travesty that we only ever got 3 songs recorded and only one of them survives to this day. And Ethan, you kind of suck for that because you took down the Bandcamp, and I'm pretty sure you would have been the one who took down Soar. And I get it. You're embarrassed of your art. I am embarrassed of the last 10 years of my art, but Merleau was nothing to be embarrassed about. The lyrics to White Picket Teeth, they fit so perfectly for this film, and I know it's going to upset you that I used it and that I used footage of you, and perhaps Ethan, you're the only one that I'm sorry to in some kind of way in terms of what content I put in this film, but ultimately I can't compromise. And that's what was great about Merleau, is we never compromised. All of us implemented our own artistic influences, our own skills. We were starting to experiment with unique time signatures, weird key changes. Declan joined. We had places to go. We were going to go on a world tour. But somehow, someway, our personalities weren't compatible. Ethan, both you and I were very hot-headed back then. And I feel like we both spited ourselves quite a bit. And it's unfortunate, because Merleau could have been something amazing. And while I do grieve that loss, I take it ultimately as a lesson. Not just on compromise, but a lesson in partnership. And learning how to work together better. And that right there is why I have arthritis. Ultimately, I'm not upset about the way Merleau ended.
Life's a bitch, it's a pussy on a platter. Pull it to the side, hit it raw, it don't meddle.
I'm not upset at myself, I'm not upset at Evan or Ethan. I'm proud of where I've come from that. And without that happening in the way it did, I wouldn't have been able to hit such a rock bottom. And ultimately, the man that was able to lift me up deserves a lot of credit for what he did. I don't think he truly understands what he did for me. It's a hoax road. We crossed paths for a short while, and he gave me an education in hip-hop and music in general. He taught me how to respect pop music, how to respect quote-unquote ignorant trap music that, you know, some people would listen to and be like, oh, they're just saying the same thing over and over. But really, you can get into the intricacies of the flow and just the feeling, the vibe.
Been holding me down and it's making me old. Thinking ahead, I've been thinking of bread, stacking it up like I'm trying to repent. Get in my head and they force me to vent. Doing the most, but it don't make a dent. Trying again and again, I'm insane in the brain, but I go for the wings. I'm living in pain and I cannot begin to imagine a life without trying to sin. It came bundled with my blood. I'm just trying to beat the flood of depression, aggression, but mostly I've been impressively regressing me. My dreams read like a eulogy. You don't know what you do to me. You make a fucking fool of me. That pussy just a tool to me. Heating up the cool in me.
You can just listen to music to enjoy it. You don't have to always be convinced of some grander opinion. It doesn't have to be this total masterpiece with a billion hidden meanings. It can just represent a certain area at a certain time, a certain people. So all music is a transfer of energy.
Fake it to make it, fake it to fake it, break it to break it, take it to take it, make it to make it for myself. It's my help, it's my therapy, 'cause ain't no
And all human relationships is a transfer of energy. You're sharing a lifetime with one another. And I hope in a way, when you finish this series, you walk away feeling that you've at least experienced some of my lifetime, but also some of the lifetime of all the individuals in this film. It took a while to remember, but I used to make a lot of YouTube videos. I'm not sure if I wanted to be YouTube famous, because I was on YouTube when it was just cat videos, and I remember the first time I opened it up, I didn't even know if it was a real website. I thought it was a scam. I thought I was being ripped off. But ultimately it became like a second home, like opening up to see Dave Days and Go Remy and SXE Phil. Not that I still watch any of those creators, but I can remember the days when YouTube was this completely unfettered flow of creativity from individuals to their audiences. Don't get me wrong, it is still a pretty great platform now. I'm definitely going to be making more content and uploading it to YouTube. More serious films like this, or maybe I'll get into more talking head style coffee time videos again. What really frustrates me is knowing that this whole time, this last 11 years, I wanted to do all this stuff, but I just knew. She said it was okay. She said, no big deal, go do your stuff. But every time I did, she would just be on the couch, sad. So what was I supposed to do? I'd feel guilty if I spent time in my office without her. She couldn't find a creative outlet of her own, no matter how much I tried to encourage her or push her towards something I thought she could do. She picked up a few things occasionally and put them down shortly after. But I was there. That was okay with me. I was not only content, but I was happy. I felt like the world could end and it would be okay as long as I had her. But it turns out, at the end of the day, I wasn't enough for her. And that's crazy, because I'm absolutely dope. Like, I'm crazy dope. I could have been this dope if she just actually genuinely believed in me and cared about my art. But I'm actually thankful she didn't, because now that I'm on the other side of it, I can see there are much, much better women out there for me. And I don't say that to make you feel bad, Meg. I say that as the honest truth. I'm ultimately thankful for you, to you, being such a cold-hearted bitch. guess one person I owe another genuine apology to is this gentleman on screen, Matthew. I took $1,500 from you. I loaned it with the intention of paying it back, and then life just kept hitting me, and I still haven't paid you back that money. I'm too embarrassed to face you until I can't pay you back double, triple what you loaned me, because I am so grateful for that opportunity you gave me with that money to rent that duplex. And every time I look back at my old YouTube videos and I see you in them, it's like, damn, wish I had $1,500. Another person I think I owe a shout out to is the one guy who has been there through all of this. He showed up at the hotel. He showed up for the part that I'm going to talk about in Act 3. He is such a genuine soul. Even after we've lost touch for years, he's still gone out of his way to be there for me. And I really appreciate you. And it's my buddy Connor. As you heard his vocals at the beginning of the film. We made that song way earlier in the year, and ironically he wrote it probably about some girl, I think, and it's just so perfect for the situation that Meg and I had. Synchronicity, I guess.
Bikini on the booty, chilling up in my jacuzzi. She gon' watch me like this doobie, and oh god, it's feeling groovy. Life is like a movie, keep it rolling, keep it moving. Pardon me for the intrusion. Sex is what we should be doing. I know what I'm doing, I'll make it come twice.
You thinking litigious, you flipping the digits and get on the internet. Speaking of business, I'm holding a trial. You bear no witness, there's no more denial. I'm lowered to sickness.
And just to set the record straight, I was no saint either, and I'm not claiming to be. At the beginning of our relationship, I left her for another chick. I was talking to other girls, some of them just as friends, but some of them for sure with the intention of them being more. I lied about things. I wasn't a good boyfriend.
Get in the dirt cause we straight from the trenches. Back on the bench, we've been swinging for fences. I'm on a journey, you've been an apprentice. I've been a legend, you'll never forget it. Never forget what you're learning. I get what I'm burning right straight off the boat. Give me some hope or I'm burning it down. Give me some dope or I blow up the town.
And what kind of sucks is I don't even know if she is that good of a girlfriend. And things are really mixed up in my head, even as I go through these 11 years of Google Photos. But she remembered a lot more stuff than I did. But I don't know. I don't blame her. I don't blame myself. I blame the energy of life. And I no longer fight that energy. I just let it take me where I need to be. Really, at that house at 104, times were good. There were really good times. And if only I knew what was ahead, I would have cherished those moments a lot more intensely. I guess that's why they say the good times are killing me.
Good now, like I know what I'm doing. Head with the wand and I'm fucking unstupid. What's the only good is the man who trying to use it. Stick it in the butt, all of a sudden I'm abusive. You liked it back when we were fucking Mach 10. Hit it from the back, then switch it out and pop it. I'm coming from the top and I'm diving in the deep.
And the whole time I knew, deep down, that I could be a better boyfriend. Could be making more love to her. Could be buying her better gifts. But I was always afraid that if I did show her my all, it wouldn't be enough. At least if I wasn't trying. If I failed, then it's because I chose to fail.
Inside of you, there are two wolves.
As I run through the mental checklist of everyone I want to talk about in this film, I think there's one really important person I need to at least mention, and it's my ma. In some ways, I don't believe in spirits or the afterlife, but something inside me makes me feel like she's watching over me, especially these last couple weeks as I've gone the direction the energy of life has taken me. I've received a wonderful bounty. I still don't believe in a god or an Allah or a Buddha, but my ma, the idea that she's out there watching out for me. She taught me so many things. How to deal with people of all ages, races, shapes, sizes, attitudes, vernaculars, vocabularies. She taught me how to be professional, how to work hard, how to do a job correctly. I remember when she taught me how to clean the bathroom. First time it took a couple hours because I just had to keep going back in. It wasn't clean enough. And the second time, it didn't take more than 20 minutes. And really, that is the best education I got my entire life, was a lesson in the result of hard work. And you wouldn't be watching this film today if it wasn't for that being instilled in me. It does bring me some sadness. I tried to encourage her through the end of her life, write down some of her recipes or try to write a bit of a book or something. And I knew this creative spark didn't just come from anywhere, it didn't come from my dad. And I knew she had it too, but just like Meg, Ma couldn't bring herself to do it. And so now, all I have left is this handful of pictures and the education she gave me, being a good, honest, responsible human. I couldn't even replicate the experience. I don't know if I could raise a child as well as she raised me. And while there was conflict, I didn't like the idea of working from the time that I was 8 years old. I'm very grateful I did, because while I missed out on time with friends or extra sporting activities or doing something with music, I was building a strong foundation to go on and do whatever the fuck I want the rest of my life. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be something. Like, not just a human, not just a man, something. A musician, a filmmaker, a talking head, a YouTube celebrity, a local celebrity. It's not that I want that, but it's built into my DNA. This combination of power and Brenda genes crafted me into this acutely aware, completely dedicated human. And what's funny, I am an only son of what I believe is an only son. So it's up to me to carry on my family name. But I don't even know if that's appropriate or if it's time for me to just leave a legacy. I have temporarily disabled my ability to have children, and I'm not gonna lie, there are times I've contemplated reversing that, but I feel like that's a way out, at least for me. I don't judge your personal decisions if you have a child, but for me, I need to make all I can of myself until the day I die. Whether that day is an hour from now or 100 years from now, I'm going to try to live every single day like it has the potential to hold 1,000,000 lifetimes, because each conversation I engage in with someone, it's experiencing their lifetime. And I guess that ultimately is what my mom taught me, that talking to all people as if they're just people is the best way to live life. She had her demons, she had her struggles. But the cancer that killed her wasn't even related to those. It's because she went suntanning on a beach in San Francisco when she was 20, got a sunburn, smoked like a chimney, drank like a fish, still worked 40 hours a week, took me to school every morning. She was a great mom. She made the best food. I don't even like turkey dinner that much anymore, because I know I'll never have one as good as hers. But I'm so grateful for having that experience. Not just the time I got with her, but the time I got without her. Because when she passed, I got immediate freedom. It was carte blanche. I had no rules. My dad bought me all the liquor and weed I could ask for. And of course I flew off the rails. I fucked on my stomach by drinking too much, fucked on my brain by smoking too much. And in the end, it made me into a dope fucking human. I've gone through enough shit that I know what I'm talking about. I pretty much know a bit of everything. And the things I don't know, I know enough to learn more. You can't teach experience, but you can sure as hell try to learn from it. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my sister, Mel. We haven't always been that close, but when I've needed her, she's been there for me. And she was also like a second mom to me. So thank you, Mel. And thank you for helping with my damage deposit.
I lock it in focus, hoping to make chumps give up pushing rocks, cause the hill is all made up. Putting it to you, in fact, the pen and the paper. I'm packing, prepping the pipe with a pair of punches. I'm pointing you a player. Boating the breeze and the boonies, break it to bra like boobies. Big in the back and the booming bow with the bass and the booty. Walk with the will and the woody. Why the wonder lady woo me? Weighing the ways that I'm waiting when my winds come and wave us. Dodging the ditch and the danger, dreading the doom with the damage due to the doom. I'm debating down in the dark, going dazing. But I've been feeling myself, the more I'm revealing myself. I find it on the shelf, then I take it, then I'm healing myself. Save it, but I'm stealing myself from the future, me and myself. So I torture me and myself. Proper guidance, dodging only me and myself. In a room full of mirrors I can hear, but it's clear coming near to me. But I'm rejecting what I'm trying to be, but I'll always be projecting that I'm tied at the seams. Battle masculinity, rattling in my dreams. Angel is too extreme, the devil invented cream. Lactose at most, and with flatulent jokes, but they sucking it up, Electrofox is bespoke. High on the supply, color woke. We choking on the ground for some hope. I'm acting like a
So yeah, that's basically the story of my life. From the age of 8 to 16, I worked at the Sands Hotel. My mom brought me in. Instead of getting a babysitter, she taught me how to clean tables. I eventually went on to serve those tables, and once she passed away, I started washing dishes, cooking on the line, cooking for the buffet. After that, I went on to Staples, then I went on to cell phone repair, a couple other places, and then cell phone repair, and now I have the job I have today, which is a decent job for not that great of a company. But I was in bands. I was in rock bands and grunge bands, metal bands, concert bands, classical concert bands, jazz band. Been in many situations with multiple people in the bedroom, outside of the bedroom. Tried a lot of drugs, and I've seen a lot of shit. But ultimately, that's really all you need to know to get us to 2017, which is really where my life changed in a huge way. And with that, Act 1 and 2 of the first episode of FairField is done. But one very, very last thing. It's time for me to live up to a promise we made to our fans. Probably about 10 years ago now. This is the full Shaw set list. I really loved playing music with you guys. You especially, Ethan. You know where I am if you ever want to get back at it.
This means a lot to me. These shows like this, it's better than any raised fish show in this city. I'll say it to their faces too. You owe me money. Scott, Ryan, hit me up. I apologize for it being really fucking loud. Sucks don't shoot me in my stick.
All she said was she needed hope just to retrace what he earned, retrace what he burned.
Oh, what time is it? Who has the time?
Pass my bedtime.
That's 8:54.
Still an 8.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Dylan.
You guys got like.
Babe.
I got no.
Yeah.
wait. What I'm gonna need you guys to do in this song, everybody's answer the phone, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Hello, this is Del.
So hello? Like, but you gotta sound like you're really sprout. Like, hello? Hello? 1, 2, 3. That'll work. So when I point at you guys, do that. It's gonna have to do this. Guitar's a piece of shit. My little purpose and reflection. You find your purpose in yours. Who is it you feel you resemble? Who is it left to have a voice? Who is it you feel resemble? And it was so close to pick it up. But beside was a door. And was a gun. Said it was your choice to pick it up. Beside the Can we play one more song?